to welcome you all here today. We'll start the December 15th Board of Supervisors regular meeting. I'd like to welcome you all here today and appreciate your attendance. Item 1 on the agenda is approve the minutes of the December 1st, 2015 regular meeting and special meeting on December 8th, 2015.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 2 on the agenda is receive and place on file drainage repairs. We have a few today. Drainage District number 52, Gallery Township, Section 8, outlet and ditch bank broken off, bank starting to slough in, also turned in by Trent Farnham. Drainage District number 244, Lost Grove, Section 13, replace tile with non-perforated tile to prevent tree roots from plugging up the tile line, again, turned in by Kevin Phillips. Drainage District number 37, Lost Grove, Section 26, tile outlet washed out, turned in by Keith Wicklund. And Drainage District number 1, main ditch, Cooper, Section 15, installed 2 new intakes and open ditch, turned in by Jim Royster.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion when we receive and place on file the drainage repairs.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments on the drainage repairs? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, we have a group of people here from the Library Association. This is item number 17. I would ask that the chair recognize them at this time on the best of their business of their time.
Okay, we'll move on to item 17 if everybody's okay with that.
No. Well, you said in the best interest of the use of their time. Maybe did they ask for this, Bob? Maybe they want to stay for the whole meeting?
Would you like to stay for the whole meeting? Would you like to get out there? It's gonna might be a while, so we'll get you up, and if you'd like to stay, you're sure welcome. Item 7, we'll move up to item 17, Mr. Singer's request. Webster County Library Association to update the board, so with the Library Association.
Thank you very much. My name is Greg Romer. I'm the new director of the Fort Dodge Public Library, and to be honest with you, I'm very glad to be here. It's a great little city and a wonderful county. I'm here on behalf of the Webster County Library Association and all of the people that our libraries serve. Should I ask folks to stand up and
Sure.
Just please stand up and tell everyone.
I'm Erin Laura from Duncombe.
I'm Carmen from Duncombe.
Tommy Campbell from Dayton.
Kathy Haig from Harcourt.
Thank you. I'd like to tell you a little bit about libraries. We'll keep it brief. I know how long your agenda is. Recently, there's been some negative chatter about the relevance of libraries. I'd like to set that straight right now. Please allow me to give you a couple of reasons why libraries in this county and in America are important. This isn't about numbers, it's about people. First, reading is the essential intellectual skill. Everything else follows. Most libraries circulate more novels than anything else, and certainly novels are entertaining, but it's also practice. Reading needs practice. Second, access to information is critical. Daily life is an ongoing and chaotic narrative. Libraries are the only places where people are the only institutions that provide information to fill in the gaps or interpret that narrative so people can keep their personal, work, social, and political lives on track and in focus. Third, in the digital age, libraries are the adhesive that increasingly holds employment, social services, and government intact. Unfortunately, not everyone, particularly the unemployed, the underemployed, and the elderly on limited fixed incomes, have access to computers and the internet. Increasingly, the brunt of connecting the disadvantaged to the digital world has fallen to libraries. Fourth, people read novels or sit in front of the television or in the theater watching movies or plays because humans are deeply compelled by story. We live our lives by story. We meddle in our children's lives to make sure their stories go well. Life is a story. and the libraries are the houses of story. Again, on behalf of the directors of the Webster County Library Association and all the people that we serve, I want to thank you, your supervisors, for your past generosity. I hope you will keep it at that level above in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions from the public, from the directors? Anybody else want to speak?
I'll just say that Webster County is contracted with the Library Association for 27 cents per thousand from the rural valuation. This time valuation report isn't ready, but that's the level of funding that you give to the libraries. And you sign an addendum every year, which breaks the percentages down based on the library's costs. We know we're committed to the 27%.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure stick around, but thank you for your attendance. Item number 3 on the agenda, accept resignation of Jordan Brackey, County Attorney Assistant, effective December 11th, 2020.
Reluctantly so moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 4 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign revised Avivas Advantage Vision Plan renewal effective January 1st, 2016.
So moved. Second.
A motion is second. Amy, you want to comment on everything?
Sure, it's simply due to the fact that it's a 4-tier plan and some of the tiers were not divisible by 2. And because we deduct those premiums bi-weekly, we requested that they lower their premiums by 1 cent. So they be divisible by 2. That's all there is to it. So.
Wow, that's pretty heavy negotiating.
Right?
Thank you. Any questions on the Avivas plan? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 5 on the agenda, receive and place on file Minerva Plan updates for Bob and Travis Hicks in Section 31, Gallery Township, and Envirotech Power Washing and Ag Service LLC in Section 32, Yale Township.
Move item 5, Mr. Chairman.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6 on the agenda, receive and place on file Midas Regional Planning Commission Auditor's Report and financial statements for period ending June 30th, 2015.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we receive and place on file the Midas Regional Planning Commission.
I'll second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments? Bob, you have anything? You're the chairman over there, aren't you?
I am. Yes, we received an extremely good report. There were no major concerns, and then we got a grade A. Trying to think of the word they used, unqualified recommendation. So they've increased to some extent their reserves and continue to fulfill their services somewhat. Yeah, it was a very good report.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7 on the agenda, adopt resolution setting public hearing to dispose of 2 certain parcels of real estate described as follows. Lot 9 and Lot 10 of Block 2 of Orris subdivision of Lehigh Incorporated, Webster County, Iowa.
Move item number 7.
Second.
A motion is second. Was Ryan going to comment on that, or do you want us to pull this, or?
No, this is actually Brad worked on.
Brad.
These are 2 lots the county has owned in Lehigh for many, many years. They originally came to the county as a tax sale, I believe, and a neighbor has asked to purchase them. The only way to legally put these up for sale, since they are county owned, is through a public auction. Right, thanks. And Brad prepared that for me, so I want to thank him for that.
Any comments on that? For Brad? Thank you for doing that. Hearing none, do we?
In your resolution, it's just,
Yeah, I believe there was a time set in the resolution, always did draft.
Is there, what is this out? What is?
you guys are copying it.
I think it's set for the 29th.
Public hearings
On
on
10:30 on the 29th, 2 weeks from today. The bidding would be open, I believe, from today until, or no, excuse me, from the 22nd until the 29th. After that's the
resolution that you will go in the minutes complete,
With that date.
and which includes all of that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 8 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign underwriting engagement letter with D.A. Davidson and Company.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the engagement letter with D.A. Davidson for their services. Second.
A motion and a second, you want to comment on that?
I'd just like to say that this is, we've been examining some of the county's options for financing some projects that we have coming up. And we've been using the services of D.A. Davidson and Scott Stevenson. And we need to make it official.
Questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 9 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign memorandum of understanding by and between Webster County, Iowa and Dakota Access Pipeline.
Chairman, I move item 9.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion and a second. Doreen, you want to come in? Answer your questions on that?
So what we've done is we've hired an engineer.
And you are?
I'm Doreen Planner, I'm the drainage clerk here in Webster County. And we have hired an engineer, MHF Engineering, to go in and do some preliminary work to discover where the tile lines are located and what it would take to do a 1-inch coefficient for any future improvements they might have. And then in turn, Dakota Access would agree to go underneath that new determination. And some of the work has already started, and so we just wanted an agreement, we're gonna accept funds from them. And it doesn't say that we're accepting their agreement, it just says we're accepting the funds and we're gonna move forward on the agreement, which I think we're pretty close on, but basically we're just trying to make sure everything's in line.
So, understanding this is just for the drainage tile.
Drainage,
And the open
yeah, the
ditches.
district tiles and
And
open
open
ditches, yes, that's correct. And Ryan prepared the agreement for me, so.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Doreen.
Thanks.
Item 10 on the agenda, approve 2015 weed commissioners report and weed compliant map.
And I'll second this motion, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion and a second. You want to comment on that?
I'm Andy Stanberg, Webster County Weed Commissioner. So you guys can probably see in the report the numbers were up a bit this year compared to previous years, most likely because it was a good year for growing, everything weeds included. But happy to report that everybody took care of the problems that were reported. I didn't have to go in and take care of anything or assess anybody with any charges for it. So everything went pretty well as far as that goes. And keep working at it next year, you know, we'll see what the weather conditions go. I talked to other weed commissioners around the state, and they all had similar experiences this year, and primarily due to the weather, so.
So just so the messenger knows, if somebody has a complaint about thistles or weeds in the road ditches or in somebody's yard or something, they call it conservation.
Yep, you can call me out at Webster County Conservation in Kennedy Park, and ask for myself, and either speak with me or somebody will take a message and I can get a hold of you. And I usually try to address it within a day or two, so.
Questions for the commission?
Thank you.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 11 on the agenda, receive and place on file under management plan update for Bergquist Farms in section 23 and 24 of Cotton Township.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
A motion and a second, any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 12 on the agenda, consider request from the Conservation Board to transfer a $5,000 donation in the Conservation Trust Fund to be used for improvement projects.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we give consideration to the request from the Conservation. Let's hear it.
A motion and a second, that's the request.
Okay, this ought to be good.
Good morning, everyone. Matt Cosgrove, Conservation Director for Webster County. This is a donation that came in from a private citizen that was heavily involved with the Camp Winoki project, as it was a campfire camp. So she wanted me to pass along the thanks to the Conservation Board and to this board for protecting that property for future public use. So As part of that thank you, she gave us a donation of $5,000 that she'd like for a project there at Camp Winona.
So how many acres is that in for the public?
So it's almost 80 acres, it's like just under 78.8 acres, somewhere in that neighborhood, so. We're in the process, management plan should be completed for that property here within the month, so I'll be back hopefully in January to present the master plan that was created for that facility, and then we'll start moving forward with some of those projects out there, so.
Well, I too am grateful that Webster County Conservation, Webster County is a part of this property too. But I doubt if I can even reach a box of cookies, so.
Any questions on Camp Winona?
The way this project works and the reason for the request is the trust fund for the conservation department works as this board deposits any money into their expenditures have to be a motion of the conservation board.
You want to set the motion to approve the transfer? I would move that we allow the conservation board to transfer $5,000 to the conservation trust fund.
Have a motion and a second. Any further comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 13 on the agenda is discuss an email from Tanner J. Knoll, Union Steward for Jailers Labor Union. Mark, would you like to read the email we have?
Last week on Wednesday, December 9th, the day after our incident here at the courthouse, we received an email from Mr. Knoll. Dear sirs, I am writing as a union steward for the jail floor. I saw that the courthouse will be closed until Monday, December 14th. I was wondering if the clerks that work in the courthouse are being paid for the 4 days they will be off, or if they will have to use vacation time. If they are being paid for those days off, I feel it is only fair that the correctional officers, deputies, and other clerks receive extra pay or compensation time equal to what the clerks in the courthouse are receiving. I would appreciate a response whenever you reach a decision. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. Sergeant Tanner J. Knoll, Webster County Jail.
So that's the reason I put it on the agenda, because he wanted us to discuss it and we needed a response, so. I guess, what's the response?
I can tell you my personal experience in that time frame. I contacted some of the people that were not at the courthouse. Doreen, our drainage clerk, was one of them, and she helped me twice during that time off. And Friday she was in Humboldt for a drainage clerk's meeting. I had other county employees call, offering their assistance, wanting to come in and help. And I told them that, at that kind of time, the cleaning crew was in here doing everything they could, and temporary offices were up and running. So I think they made every attempt to come in and be a part of the process and willing to work.
Yeah, I think we look at this as they were kind of, they were time off, but they were there if we needed them. They were on call. Because I actually talked to Doreen, and there was some people called me and asked if they could come in, and I said, really, we have the cleaning crew, and it's a hazard, I don't think we need anybody else in there. So we did have them.
And I have reached out to one of the other bargaining units here in the courthouse, and they are not requesting this.
So, what's our request? No?
Yeah, I would agree that I kind of consider those employees to be on call. Several of them did help. We haven't had this request from any other units. I think it was an unfortunate event that we don't foresee, and I don't know that it was unfair to any other employees in the district, so I would not be in favor. My answer is no.
I just did a quick review of our insurance contract to see if this would be addressed, the question would be addressed, and frankly, it's not. It did not sustain any additional extra expense in that category for the contract, so consequently, there really is no claim there as well. So it's just not, it have to turn a deaf ear to their request.
So I guess our,
Wherever you're comfortable with, it is.
Well,
something that
I'll
you
make
can
a
discuss.
motion that we direct Chairman Nicklow to respond that at this time the board is not inclined to offer compensation to jailers or any other you. Any additional, yeah.
I'll second.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll second.
Any additional comments?
Do you have a motion and a second? Any comments from anybody?
I'd just like to say that it's assumed that the county employees were off time. They were on call, you're absolutely right. I know payroll had to get done, for instance. The problem you have is the fact that you want to limit how much of your work you get done. And the gals for my office was very willing to be on call. They were also very willing to come in if they had to. They're also trying to get caught up now. And we have some end of the year deadlines and so forth. And they understand that they're going to do that on their own time in lieu of what the situation was. Tonight, I know two of them are going to be working. We do have a date in election, small enough in nature, but they'll be able to cover that. Plus, be able to work on stuff that they couldn't do last week. Moving forward, that's the way they will operate.
Yeah, and I know.
So it's assumed that, and I don't know if you can tack that on, because it isn't like they have a free day or any of this. I know I took care of quite a few things. Always check the mail, and we have the voting equipment coming in.
And I can testify that I received a call from the county auditor.
Not a happy camper, but you can't get into her own. We kept the state auditors working too. That was another.
I
Get
know.
it out of there when you could.
One office employee whose office was severely affected by this loss, and that individual came in, got all the information she needed to do her payroll, and got it in a timely fashion. I mean, it did everything conceivably well, and maybe it's an inappropriate time, but I would have to say that in the main, all the departments within the confines here worked diligently, I think, to provide whatever service they could under the circumstances. So, hats off to the folks that went the extra mile, if you will, in the same breath. We were very responsive, I think, to the public's adjustments.
I think everybody stepped up to the plate. All the employees, Carrie offered you offices over there, there's break room for facilities, and, we had a meeting. It happened at 1:30 in the morning. We had a department head meeting at 1 o'clock that afternoon, and by 1 o'clock the next day, the county was acting up and going. So within 24 hours of a bad situation, we had it turned around, and if you needed something done, it could be done. So you guys did a great job getting back on too, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Any other questions? Not? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 14 on the agenda is approve and authorize chair to sign a utility permit for Mid-American Energy to extend overhead electric transmission lines to new home at 2435 Woodman Hollow Road in section 21, township 88 north, range 28 west, Oakville Township.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we approve item number 14.
I'll second his motion.
A motion and a second. Everything okay on that, Randy?
Yeah, unless you have any questions, everything's in order.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 15 on the agenda is to approve and authorize chair to sign utility permit for Mid-American Energy to replace gas service at 2337 160th Street in section 32, township 90 north, range 28 west, Becker Township.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Motion and second. Any comments on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 16 on the agenda is to remove approval snow removal bids for bank building at 723 First Avenue South, Fort Dodge, Iowa. I think we're going to extend those for another week.
Due to the circumstances last week, I did get one in yesterday that brought it in because of course we weren't available for that service Tuesday of last week. Without further notice,
I'll move the table.
they can extend the opening of those bids for
Yeah,
a
we
week.
can do that. We need to extend it till next Monday or next Tuesday by 9 o'clock.
By 9 o'clock next Tuesday, so you have it for approval.
Yeah, I can table with the proviso that we extend the period
we have a motion and a second to extend the snow removal bids till next Tuesday at 9 o'clock? That sound good, 10 o'clock?
With the cutoff time?
Yeah. 9 o'clock.
I think it's 9 o'clock.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carries, thank you.
Oh, it was 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, okay, no, whatever it is. We did item 17 already. Item 18, discuss 2016 board appointments.
Chairman, I move item 18.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
A motion and a second on the board appointments.
I'll start, and you guys can jump in. We're kind of trying to do this board appointment thing a little bit different this year. We always have appointments or reappointments to boards, and the first thing that we wanted to do, because we do these the first of the year, was make it the public aware of the fact that we're always looking for people to serve on boards. So the number one thing I want to get out there is that anybody in the community that wants to serve on any county boards, please call one of us or somehow let us know that you're willing to serve. That way we have places as they open, we'll have some names to draw from. There's been several openings we've had over time that we've, kind of had to search and, call a lot of people to get people to serve. And, oh yeah. And so that's the number one thing I wanted to promote out there. We also are continuing to work on gender balance on the committees. I think the last few appointments we've made have all been women. So we always have a little bit of a harder time getting women to serve. So anybody out there, again, in the public that wants to serve, let us know. We're also, as a group, going to look at these a little sooner than we have in the past to make sure that we all agree on the people that are serving. And then call on the people. A lot of times it's just renewing because we have good people on these boards and it's just a matter of approving renewals, but we have to make sure that they want to renew. And so we're kind of opening it up that way. And then I don't know if you were going to read.
I go through them, yeah.
Go through.
I'll just go through some of the boards we have. We have the Conservation Commission Board, and James Eslick of Galleries service that expires in 2015. Matt, you said you wanted to serve again?
Jerry Ridgey actually has replaced him.
Okay.
So she's fulfilled his term, but she has offered to serve again. She's been on for about a year and 4 months, somewhere in that area.
So that board's all that.
We're gonna have another opening, it sounds like.
We technically have to approve her for the 15 year.
Yeah.
We just didn't have her the right person.
Okay. For Veterans Affairs Commission, Ray Alt's commission is due, so we'll be contacting Ray Alt. If anybody else wants to apply, I guess we'll be looking. Civil Service Commission, there's 3 on that, and all their terms expire in 2016. Webster County Magistrates appointments, theirs all are until 2020. Board of Health, we have Dr. Kylie Wallace and John Digboss. Kelly Wallace and John Digboss terms expire. So
both would like to be reappointed.
So that's Board of Adjustment, Mark Crimmins' term expires, and he said that he would do that again. Planning and Zoning, all them people are okay yet until 17. The Medical Examiner is a 2-year term, Dr. Daniel Cole. So somebody will got that again, I suppose. Compensation Board, they're okay yet. The Safety Committee, there's 11 members. And is that every year how does that?
Appointed and.
So I guess, anybody here from the Safety Committee?
I'm a member of it, but I'd maybe make a suggestion that, if you want to do things thoroughly, I mean, if you're going to open it up again or whatever, then maybe you should make sure it's well represented and it's active enough to suit your needs. And I don't know, maybe it's a good idea that somebody needs to send you or somebody with a membership needs to send an email to that you're currently on this committee. Are you willing to serve another term or whatever, and so forth. And, but And I also can make a suggestion that, get an insurance committee, the same way goes with the insurance committee. And I would have a suggestion that we could add Jamie to that. He was on, but he wasn't listed in 2015. And then you do have a wellness committee. I don't know if that's ever been documented, who the members are on that. And then a vending committee, I don't know, that's kind of a non-profit committee.
Those are internal, I think,
Okay.
and not a part of the board.
Oh, they don't appoint them, okay. But they actively meet in our county time, and they're up and by the county employees, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
throw that out. Yes.
It's a good point.
I would like to appoint Mr. Singer to that safety committee to look into see if everybody wants to do it.
Safety committee, for clarification to the public, is all in-house people, basically, that's not really public.
Okay, so the disaster services coordinator, the emergency management, please.
We appoint him every year, but I've never quite understood why, because
We
he has his
really,
own
we
board.
really don't, he's been on the list as long as I've been here, and beyond.
But we don't appoint him. I honestly,
The commission
yeah,
appoints.
yeah, emergency management director is appointed by his commission. Again, I think it's probably just a courtesy that it runs through us. We don't have any authority to appoint or not appoint him or anything, so I guess I would question why it's even.
Well, I wonder, is it mandated that each county have one?
I believe
Bet
so.
it is. So maybe just if they're recognizing that we have one, and this is who it is. That'd be my guess.
That might be. And there's nothing wrong with putting it on there, just to,
So we know.
Okay, the weed commissioner, Andy. Any problems with it? It's okay, we're just read your name.
yeah.
You're on the list.
I was gonna do that for the next meeting,
Yeah.
so.
Planning and zoning administrator, you want to talk about?
We're gonna be accepting applications for planning and zoning administrator. So if anybody that wishes to apply for that position may apply to our HR department. The job description will be published, and we'll be accepting applications soon, starting January 1st.
Are we gonna add some stuff to the job description?
We're gonna update it.
Yeah, we're basically changing our planning and zoning, office. We're gonna come up with a new job description, possibly add some different things into it, GIS and some of those things. So we're just opening it up to, basically a new application process.
And moving it to the main floor.
There'll be, planning and zoning will be moving to the main floor after the first of the year. But we have to get the job description in place before we put the application out.
Yep.
Drainage attorney is Eric Eady, and I can contact him and see if he's willing to do that again. Official newspapers, you have the Messenger, the Dayton Review, and Gallery. I suppose we'll just do the same again? Or what's the-
You'll always have a question on it.
You have that choice on how many you're going to, you always have, Dayton Review and Gallery News because of the quality and the weekly paper.
So we'll look into it to see. And Webster County Emergency Management Commission, I guess they're all.
I think that's another one where that's dictated and
And
that's
it's
set by
there
code.
mainly for reference, when people want to know who's first on the board, this is the.
Yeah, that's in code, it's the mayor's, that's in code.
It isn't highlighted for your.
So all the people that serve on these commissions, I'd like to thank them for serving this year, and we'll be contacting the ones that are on the list that expired to see if they can get back on. Anybody that wants to, throw their name out there to serve on a commission, we always, need people that'll serve on some of these boards, you serve for free, but they're kind of interesting to serve on, so.
And sometimes it's in the middle of the year, we need to replace somebody,
So
so.
it'd be nice to have a list of names that we can look at.
I'll take that.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Citizens' opportunity to address the board with items not on the agenda.
I have two really quick things. Lindsay Bethany, Webster County Recorder. First of all, I would like to thank members of the board, as well as Webster County Public Health, our IT department, in their efforts to make sure that we were able to function last week. As department head, I greatly appreciate the efforts to make sure that the public was served as best we could in an unforeseen circumstance. My second thing is I would like to remind, I'm hoping the paper and the radio picks up on this, snowmobile and ATV off-highway vehicle users that their registrations are due December 31st to avoid a $5 penalty. To renew those at $17.75. Also, snowmobiles that are being operated on public land, trails, and public ice will also need to have an Iowa Department of Natural Resources user permit to be able to function or to be in compliance with the law, and that is an additional $17.75. So, thank you.
Can we register our fleet at the same time with boats?
Boats will not be able to be renewed until January. And it's actually January 1, but I looked at the calendar, it's not until January 4th that you can actually come in. We won't be open until January 4th. So, starting January 4th, you'll be able to renew your boats.
It's only like 50 steps.
Thank you.
For our ATV policy, Mr. Sheriff,
Yes.
that's one license plate for every, how's that?
Yeah, in fact, I have.
Uh-oh.
Anybody need to go to the bathroom or anything? No, the plate is good forever because when you renew your registration on your ATV, it's the same numbers year after year after year. It's just a different colored sticker, but it's the same numbers which are on your plate. So that's good for as long as you have that vehicle. Correct.
And I would like to address that ordinance again if we can, not, as soon as we could, to allow the ATVs to ride anywhere in the county except on public highways, on state highways. So we could ride on the blacktops or anywhere except the state highways.
Correct, and there's been some discussion toward that. And if you followed in the paper, obviously Humboldt's in the process of passing their ordinance, which is essentially based off ours, a little different, but essentially based off ours. And I believe Boone County, I talked to Boone County Sheriff the other day, I needed to fax or email him our ordinance, he's interested in ours. So actually, in essence, I think Greene County did something, so Calhoun County is in the process or did. So all the counties surrounding us, and a lot of them are based off our ordinance.
And our plates are gonna work in their counties. So we'll be able to ride from Webster County anywhere except the city of Fort Dodge. They're not getting along with us very good.
I knew you were going to say that. We're working on it.
We would like to encourage the city to pass an ordinance. How many complaints have we had the last 2 years?
Oh, it's over.
Over 500.
We have 500 licensed vehicles, and how many complaints have we had?
None, basically. The only complaints that have came into our office that have been generated by people that aren't even registered.
Yeah. So, if the city could look at doing the same thing where we could ride anywhere in the city except maybe on Main Street. But I don't think we need any designated trails, but try it for a year, and if it's a bunch of complaints, you have some trouble, then let the people screw it up themselves. So, work on that, Kim.
Well,
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, just one couple things, I guess. I would, as much as it hurts me a little, I would pat all of you guys on the back for taking charge of the task at hand last week and getting the county, keep it moving in a positive way and not giving bad information or any information that didn't need to be out, and had all the departments moved, and by Wednesday afternoon, most everything was as good as it was ever going to be. And I think you deserve a little pat for that, because we don't have an actual emergency action plan for fire extinguishers in the courthouse that I'm aware of. So we may now, but we don't. So I think you guys all deserve that, because you guys all took the task at hand and did what needed to be done, along with the other department heads. Also, an update. As some of you may know, or you will now know, there is a suspect in our crime
but there aren't any charges yet. We have, obviously we have some things down to the DCI lab as far as DNA and fingerprints, and I haven't talked to Jennifer, but I'm not in a big hurry to charge the person in ours until we have that, just to corroborate what we have. Not to sound like a lawyer, but I'm not. I think that we need to do that, and I don't think that we need to go out into the paper and the news media and try our case in the court of public opinion and speculate. There's been a lot of that since this event happened, and I just don't think we don't need to play into that. So when the charges come, be more than happy to let the paper and the radio stations know. Obviously Jennifer has a hand in that, but I think we want it to be as concrete on our end as possible and not hurt it any other way. Do you have any?
No, I completely agree with that.
And we haven't even talked about it, so there you go. But that's just some thoughts. I think we need to handle it in a reasonable, articulate, professional way. That's all I have.
That's it. Any questions for Sheriff? Any other comments from the public? Board of Supervisors Committee reports.
I don't have any committee reports, but I do want to personally thank everybody really throughout the county organization for stepping up during that, a lot of that, because a lot of people went above and beyond. Carrie, altering the offices, and Andy, especially with IT. You know, everything's dependent on these boxes in front of us now, and it was amazing what he could accomplish. It does show that with us doing those phone systems and those things last year, it was quite evident that was a big plus, being able to just move the computers and the phones over there. So I wanted to thank everybody that way. We'll be updating you as we go. As far as we're going to have some post meetings to talk about what was good, what was bad, what we could do different. Piggybacking on the sheriff's statements, I do believe that there's a lot of talk about security, what security we have, what we don't. Most of that is by people that don't know what we have and aren't aware of what we have. And as far as what really happened that day, we're just letting it play out until we have the facts instead of rumors. So that's all I have.
I had Crime Stoppers, Friday, and they did offer a $1,000 reward for information on the thing, so that was nice of them. They're in their campaign for people to join Crime Stoppers. So if you haven't joined Crime Stoppers, it's a really good organization. They do, I think they said they had 80 on their list. When they listed the paper, there's 80 to 90% of people that they're getting arrested, so they have a good rate there. I had the CDB meeting Thursday, and they continue, the hotels continue to be full. So if you have an event coming to Fort Dodge and you need a little extra help promoting it, go over there and get an application, and I'll look into helping you promote that if you've got a moment.
Item number 15 was the Mid-America Energy, which reminded me that one of our pet peeve, of course, is when we get our heating bills this time of year, electric bills in the summertime. My son's suffered a serious fire loss in his house, and all the services were disconnected. Trying to get those reconnected at this time of year becomes a big challenge, very big challenge. On the other hand, Mid-America Energy, within a very short period of time, window of time, after being notified that these reconnected, broke their backs really to do so. And so I appreciate that very much, and would extend a hand to them for what they did for our family.
The only thing I have is that Carol should be receiving notification that the County Social Services levy asking is officially going to be 3518, which is down again. So what's happening, I believe, is that we're seeing the positive. That's one of the positive effects of the regionalization of services.
one more thing, we will be having a department head meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Yeah, it's important for everybody to be there. So if you can send somebody at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Motion to allow claims.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed, motion carries, motion to adjourn. All in favor? We're adjourned. Thank you for coming today.
Brad, did you get your signature on that?
Kelly.